Today's video is going to be on some little tails. I'm gonna give you a piece of tail. It's not what you think it means, if you're thinking dirty like that. But so, give you some backstory. A while ago, I got in some Acclaim dongles and I did a review on those. The PD3, this is a little one, so it's USB-C and 3.5 out. It was the least favorite of the Acclaims that I had tried, and so later on in my journey, I also then got a DDHiFI dongle. Again, little tail. So there's the DAC and the amplifier in this, they're separate. And again, 3.5, and I did a review and the guys from Acclaim did not like what they heard because I, in comparison, didn't like what I heard, and then they got all funny with me and then demanded their product back, and I pulled ads anyway. It ridiculous how in this hobby it goes like that, but needless to say, I didn't do any of that, and I still have it here. And so today, and then actually, sorry to finish that story, the Wild Lee, Mr. Lee, from VE Electronics, reached out and said, hey, do you want to try some of my stuff? And I went, sure, I've heard of, of your gear, and so let's give it a whirl. So here I am today, and I spent hours in my day here to do some listening and do some comparisons, and I used it with a bunch of IMs, and I chose these IMs for a reason. So the first one I chose was the Binary Acoustics Dyna Quattro. I know this is a very hard IM to drive, and it needs juice to make it go. And it's then I threw on the Unique Melody Mest Mark II. So that's $1,800, $250 one, $1,800 one, and then a KZ ZX12 Pro X, I guess. Jesus, these model numbers kill me. And I put it on their 3.5 cord with the mic input too, because I wanted to also test something else out of whether these different dongles supported call features and mic features. So the only one, spoiler alert, that didn't was the Acclaim. And then I also got a Softears dongle called the S01. And I originally thought this was just an adapter, but later found out it's a full-blown dongle tail. And quite surprised by that one. So let's get into this little shootout here and see how these guys did. So first up, let's go with the Acclaim PD3, right? So $29, has an RGB light, has this kind of extruded aluminum shell. One thing I don't like about their products, their little is these tails here. I've already had two of the of these 8 woven things come apart already, so obviously there's something to do with that little. It's too easy to come apart. Anyway, solid build, that was good. Let's get into some sound though. Bass is soft, I would say, compared to the ones that I've tried here. Could it power up the Dyna Quattros? No, and you get noticeable distortion. So, and the fact, not great sounding. Let's put it that way. And it didn't support that. So this was $30 and didn't support mic controls or that you probably might have on a cable like that. A lot of the less expensive ones have that cable with the mic input and the call control buttons on it. Doesn't support it. Let's get into the little teeny Softears S01. That is by far the smallest. If you compare it to the size-wise to the DDHiFI one, it's literally half. It's really teeny. It's really small. It doesn't look like anything. There's just Softears written in kind of muted black on here. That's it. And a fabric braided cable that looks, again, quite durable. I like that. $25. Now, something is wrong with their specifications. It says it almost has a full, it does have power, but their specs on there is wrong. It does boast some impressive signal-to-noise ratios and THD. Not expecting that. It does not. Quite interestingly enough, the only one that supports DSD 512 is this DDHiFI. The rest of them will go up to DSD files, but not 512. So 256 on the Softears. And the sound. Let's get into sound. It's the most important stuff for me. Features, yes, if you were looking for something specific. So, wow. So you throw the Acclaim on and you switch out this one. Immediately, you hear cleaner, more resolving over the Acclaim. Very authoritative, punchy bass on this little guy. Very nice top end details. And it could go power the Dyna Quattro. Sorry, wrong one. Dyna Quattro just enough at maximum volume, no distortion. So there was that. Okay. Now the last two, so the DDHiFI TC35CM2. The only one that I found that had a truly shielded from one end to the other design. Again, I really like their stuff. Their build, fit, and finish is superb. Best out of all of these ones. Even the looks and cosmetics. I mean, it's $39.99. It's $40. So the most expensive of these bunch. But it's also the best build, best looking. Probably the most durable with the PVC coated jacket and the shielding over top of that. So sleekest. In this one, they boast a separate DAC amp design chip. There's some mojo going inside, and this did support the mic and controls. But getting into the sound, tons of power. The most powerful out of all of these ones. The deepest bass, it almost sounded slightly boosted, but I like the bass, but it was still punchy and fast. So really quite like the sonic signature of the DDHiFi. It had a very nice, smooth yet extended top end. Great tonality. Stage was excellent. I can't say enough about its sound quality out of the DDHiFi. Now, my friend Lee with the dongle here, the Devastator, $15. Okay, so first of all, it's winning on price wise, $10 cheaper than everyone else's. 110 milliwatts of power, so respectable amount of power. Again, supports call controls, play, pause, that kind of stuff. And microphone automatically will sense that. So sound-wise, okay, here on the Dyna Quattro, it didn't do so well. I don't know what it is with this Dyna Quattro. It's not that hard to drive. Has a, I think, 23 ohm impedance, so it's not terrible. But it is a very demanding IM. And in 3.5, the Devastator just can't power it. And when you get pushing it to the top registers of volume, it actually shuts off. Fully distorts and shuts off. So there was that. But that aside, switching to different IMs, I got to know its sonic signature as well. So what I will say about it is by far the smoothest, warmest sounding tail. Really, really a pleasant listen to, especially with, say you have the KZ ZS12 Pro X. It's nice, but the top end and those unbranded BAs might give you some issue with some kind of BA kind of timbre. Well, the VE one really tamed it down quite a lot. Really nice and smooth, very nice sounding. Obviously, using different gear, you're going to have a different experience, but really got the sense of that using the Mest Mark II, where that one really has a lot of information up top. So two things I was listening for in all these ones, and what really came through for me with the Devastator is that it was very warm, analog, natural sounding, even in the stage. So where the other ones, except for the PD3, had pretty good stage, really good stage, actually. This one had good stage too, but it was more natural sounding versus trying to make it 3D. And some of what you get in the special sauce, you might say, that the Mest Mark II does is in that incredible kind of holographic stage up top, with its extended top end and airiness, where you do lose some of that with using the Devastator, because it kind of smoothed out the notes overall. So in that particular pairing, to get the best out of this in its kind of what it does, it wouldn't have been a great pairing. But with the KZ ZS12 Pro X, I should have chose something with a smaller name, it did really, really well. So it really depends on all these dongles. And if I were to rate these four, now it's a bit difficult. I mean, Devastator is, before I do that, I wanted to share also. So I also had the 4.4 version of this little Devastator. And then I put the 4.4 end on. And again, it powered it much, much better with the Dyna Quattro. And then I did something else just for shits and giggles. I also had a VE impedance adapter, 50 ohms. So then I wanted to see how hard would this thing be able to, could it drive this and the Dyna Quattro? And yes, for certain, it doesn't go to no distortion, and it does go to loud enough volumes for me. So that was kind of an interesting find, that putting an impedance adapter, making it harder to drive on the Dyna Quattro and the Devastator, seemed to have worked better. So that was an interesting find, and I'm glad I had that to test. So if you had something harder to drive, my advice would be to buy the 4.4 version, or buy both really, because they're inexpensive. Or you could step up into something else that had more power if you know you needed it, right? So now, if I were to rate these four, the first winner chicken dinner is by far the most expensive one at $40. The DDHiFI, it wins on sound quality, build, power, features, all of it. You're paying $40, but you're getting $40 worth of features. So the best, number one. Number two, believe it or not, is, I think, this little Softears S01. Great sounding, great power output, small size, unassuming, really quite nice. Build quality and sound quality, number two. But for sound quality, I'm also going to give that a tie with the Devastator, because it does have some great sound quality, and then it's just a different sonic signature. So warm and natural sounding, I would say, in the Devastator. I'm showing the wrong one. I'm showing the stupid impedance adapter. Way to go, Monk. So that little one is where I would also, so different sound signature, warm and natural sounding, where on the SO2 or SO1, sorry, you're getting a more cleaner. There's no warm signature in this one. It's just very uncolored. That's the way I would describe that one, with, again, harder hitting, tighter bass, and a brighter, cleaner, crisper top end. So it depends on what you're looking for. And number 3, and again, it's not because I'm biased now, because they were pricks when I came out with my review. It's just simply the way it is, the way I'm hearing it, and the way I'm calling it. Listening to this one I was never enthusiastic about its sound quality on the get-go, and after listening to all 4 of these, it comes in the worst. It's not a great sounding, and then looking at, I mean, this is big and clunky with a cable that's sure to fail, where this is, less money, $5 less money, and sounds tons better and doesn't have a fancy RGB light. But who cares? Not for me anyway. So that's kind of how I heard these 4, and I'm glad I got a chance to share it with you. And these little Devastators, if you're looking for something, super powerful, they're probably not the most powerful. But you would buy the 4.4 version, which is really nice. They have 2, right? So, or, one of these 2. So on budget, the S01 would probably win for, at $25 if you were doing a roundabout value, right? I would say that. At $25, you're getting sound quality, build quality, and great value in the Softears S01. And then if you could step up into, $20 more, the DDHiFI one is clearly the winner. And if you're looking for something that's warm and smooth, Devastator is the way to go. And you shouldn't buy this one at all. End of review. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you learned something, because I certainly did. I've never actually, it's my second go round with these little tails, and it's quite interesting for what you can get. And I know there's tons of stuff out there in that $15 price that the Devastator competes with. I think at $15, it's a pretty amazing value. And it really depends on your budget. What do you have? Do you have that extra $10? And again, for some people, that $10 is a big difference. So, there you be. It's the Tone Deaf Monk, out for now.